GradingPal integrates with Google Classroom to import classes, sync assignments, pull student submissions, and return grades, while keeping your existing classroom workflow intact. That means that you can import classes, so you can bring your Google Classroom roster into GradingPal with one click. That means you can publish assignments. Creating assignments in GradingPal and pushing them to Google Classroom works best. You can pull student work back from Google Classroom for AI grading in GradingPal. And then once the grading is finished, the grades are synced, the scores are returned, and feedback is returned to your students in Google Classroom. New users will have the option to set up Google Classroom integration as part of the onboarding process. It gives you a little warning. It says if you don't select all permissions, you may experience issues with importing classes. So I have to select all for the permissions for this to work the right way. Then you'll see if you have a class set up in Google Classroom that it offers you the opportunity to connect it right away. So I'm going to continue. You'd have to do a little more setup, select the grade levels, the subject. The standard set is optional, but can be very helpful. Okay, we just showed you about how to get set up with Google Classroom integration as a brand new user during onboarding. You also have the opportunity to connect a class at any time from your dashboard as an existing returning GradingPal user from the new class button. And then you could import from Google Classroom. Just like you saw during the onboarding, setup, if you have a Google Classroom setup that is not yet connected to GradingPal, you'll have the opportunity to do that here. You can press continue. Set it up just like we did before. Currently, only the more open-ended assignments, or you could think of like narrative assignments, like writing and essays, video and audio, and then down here, art and design and presentations. Currently, only those 4 work well when you sync to Google Classroom. The more like discrete, task-based, right or wrong things like exams, problem sets, quizzes, and worksheets, those are not fully integrated with Google Classroom yet. So one more time as review. Writing and essays, video and audio, art and design and presentations, those will work very well with Google Classroom. In the assignment setup, we recommend that you use one of these 2 options off to the left. Either I have an assignment or help me create one, to create an assignment here in GradingPal and push it to Google Classroom. You do have the option here on the right-hand side to import from Google Classroom, but we need to caution you that the grades will not sync as well due to some technical API restrictions on the Google Classroom side. The integration works seamlessly when you create an assignment with us in GradingPal and push it to Google Classroom. Now, you do have the option to choose when to publish an assignment here, but you should know that the default setting is that as soon as you create an assignment in GradingPal, it is automatically published in Google Classroom. I'm going to go over into class settings and show you how to disable that default setting if you would like to choose when to push things from GradingPal to Google Classroom. If you want more control over when GradingPal assignments get pushed and published to Google Classroom, then you need to go back to your class page like I am right now on my class page, and I can click settings. Then you'll want to toggle off automatic assignment sync and save changes. Okay, now that you've seen me disable the automatically sync to Google Classroom setting, when I click finish setup this time and click publish now, I'll get a prompt saying, hey, automatic publishing is disabled. You just saw me do that, right? You saw me disable it. Would you like to publish this now? And if so, you're doing it right now, but you're doing it manually, or you can skip for now, and then you will come back in later and decide when to publish it. Okay, so now let's pretend a day or 2 has gone by, right? And I want to publish it. I go into the Actions tab in the upper right-hand corner, and then you can see that Publish to Google Classroom is an option. I click Publish to Google Classroom. We're seeing the same dialog box we saw a moment ago, and we're ready to go. Now I'm going to show you how you can create an assignment in GradingPal and push it over to Google Classroom. Remember, you could do the reverse, but we really recommend that you start in GradingPal, make an assignment, and push it to Google Classroom. Then I'll walk you through the steps about how students will be able to see their grades and feedback in Google Classroom. Essays. Look, you could import from Google Classroom, but I strongly recommend that you make it here in GradingPal first. Okay. Same setup I've done before. See the assignment description again. Create rubric. Okay, you could take the time to look at the rubric. In this case, I'm going to move us along. I'll choose the same feedback styles before, blow and grow. We'll make it concise. We'll make it encouraging. Okay. The recommendation here now is that students submit their work in Google Classroom, right? You started the assignment in GradingPal. We can finish setup here in GradingPal. And then we're going to go over to the student side in Google Classroom to submit the assignment. Okay, now I'm back over in Google Classroom on the student side, and you can see Paul Shirk as the teacher, right? Paul Shirk posted a new assignment via GradingPal. I'm going to click on that. Okay, looks very much like Google Classroom normally does, right? So we can view the assignment here. You could click this link to view the assignment in GradingPal as well. When you add or create, the student could do their work in Google Drive, or they could upload a file. Okay, so you see my work there has uploaded. I'm going to click turn in. It says turn in your work. You sure? One attachment will be submitted. Yep, let's do it. Okay, now I'm ready to go back over to the teacher side and see what's happening in GradingPal. Back in GradingPal, in the teacher side, we can see the student work just like we have in the past. We can see the rubric scoring and the evidence for the rubric scoring. We can see the feedback. All right. Let's go ahead and let's click mark as reviewed. I'm going to click return submission. Notice you still have the option to export or download, but we're going to go back over to the student side and see what it looks like for them. We're back in Google Classroom on the student side. And now under the student's work, you see link, right? Back to GradingPal. When you click on that, the student is being linked back to GradingPal. They see their work, they see their rubric scoring, and they see their feedback.